Air conditioning is banned in the UK to save Mother Earth. This is the Alligator News Roundup, and welcome today. Plus, law schools are inundated with fake disabilities. Massachusetts beach community forbids flags on July 4. And major bummer, man dies of heart attack while hiding his girlfriend's body. Here we go.
Number 4. Red State. UK climate rules ban AC as temperatures soar to 104 degrees Fahrenheit.
In any worthwhile endeavor, it is sometimes necessary to take one for the team. The higher the stakes, the more an individual can be persuaded to sacrifice himself for the greater good. In the UK this summer, with temps topping 40 degrees Celsius, that's 104 Fahrenheit for those of us in the developed world, such self-sacrifice involves a great deal of sweat. The net zero craze has swept Europe in recent years. Net zero is, quote, an international scientific consensus that global net human-caused emissions of CO2 need to fall by 45%, unquote, by the year 2030. This has become a scientific consensus with adoption of the legally binding, though voluntary, Paris Agreement in 2015. The government of the United Kingdom is a supporter of the Paris Agreement. UK and EU leadership have given full-throated support to net zero goals, which means that their subjects, not to be confused with their citizens, must abide by local statutes implementing the reduction of CO2 emissions. That's all well and good, until it means that a town council can order you to remove your window unit air conditioner from your home. That is exactly the case highlighted in this article. A resident living in North London was forced to permanently remove 2 aircon units from the back of their home. When the homeowner objected, not with a shotgun as those are outlawed there, he was advised to simply open the windows to allow natural ventilation. Welcome to 1830, or 1730, or in fact any year prior to the 20th century. A quick look at the number of heat-related deaths by year hints at the success of net zero policies. In 2024, Europe saw 60,000 deaths by heat, compared to 6,000 in the USA. Now, I say this only hints at, rather than proves, the success of net zero. Death from excessive heat is a statistic easily measured. CO2 reduction, not so much. And when studied per capita, by the way, it comes out about the same. 2 deaths per 100,000 population in the US, 6 times that in Europe. As brutal as it is efficient. It's the way of the world. So step up. When your city council determines you must remove your air conditioning compressor, your job is to comply, comrade.
Number 3. The James G. Martin Center. The law school accommodations racket. Accommodations are running amok in elite law schools.
The study of law appears to be a profession riddled by physical disability. At UC Berkeley this year, 37% of lawyers in training are officially disabled. That rate has nearly quadrupled in only 4 years. Something is up in California, or down if you're looking at physical health. Interestingly, when Berkeley law students graduate and take internships, less than 4% declare any disability to their new employer. They were suddenly healed by the mere fact of receiving the degree. Besides these sobering numbers, reports show that 98% of those who do declare a disability at Berkeley suffer from ADHD. Now, a layman might be excused for thinking that an inability to concentrate on pertinent details for extended periods of time is antithetical to the successful practice of lawyering. But what do I know? What I do know from this article is that Berkeley law students are subjected to complex paper and pencil tests of knowledge. These 3-hour tests are timed and have high rates of failure. Stress for the test takers is off the chart. But if you happen to be a disabled student, doesn't matter what the disability is apparently, you get roughly twice as long to complete the timed test. And it seems that all that is required to prove a disability is to say you have a disability, making ADHD a popular and natural choice. Everything considered, I'm not sure I'm all that discouraged by this article. When I need an attorney to win my case, I want one who will actually win. Maybe it's not so bad.
Number 2. Fox News. Massachusetts homeowners stunned after town warns July 4th flags threaten endangered birds.
Plum Island, the upscale seaside community under the jurisdiction of the town of Newbury, is facing its own controversy heading into the Independence Day weekend. Like any stretch of coastline with sandy beaches and dunes, shorebirds are in abundance. They use the dune systems as breeding grounds, ensuring a healthy, ongoing population of winged critters that add to the allure and romance of the beachfront experience. We mustn't frighten away the shorebirds. The town council is all about ensuring the plovers are not upset or inconvenienced in any way. Mylar streamers, reflective pennants, and other such fluttering strips of cloth can scare away the birds, causing some mild disruption in their breeding habits. Said disruption likely required by flying, say, another 20 yards down the beach. Other such fluttering strips of cloth in this instance include U.S. flags placed to celebrate the 250th anniversary of the founding. Homeowners received notices in the mail advising them not to display their flags on the 4th of July. Doing so would violate laws related to endangered species. Non-compliance could result in state or federal enforcement actions, raising the unspoken specter of armed agents in tactical gear storming your beach house early Saturday morning. Yeah, okay. The flag may scare the plover. I got it. Sorry for the plover. Sort of. But I really think the endangered species here is the free American. And Massachusettsians are not the only species endangered. Authorities in San Marcos, California, have issued similar directives to homeowner associations there. San Marcos, however, is a much more assertive community. They do not require an egg-laying plover to hide behind. The California position is that the mere sight of an American flag suspended near a neighbor's front door is a political statement that may trigger angst and dismay. In deference to said fragile neighbors, HOA rules are that no one shall fly Old Glory on the 4th, or presumably any other day. Violators will be fined. I wonder how these easily triggered residents would have done at Fort McHenry in 1814.
Number 1. The Independent. Georgia man dies of heart attack while dumping body of girlfriend he had strangled to death, officials say.
Karma can be such a bummer. In rural Alabama, someone discovered a pickup parked beside a remote road 80 miles from Montgomery. The vehicle was abandoned, but the engine was running and the driver's door was left open. Obviously, someone was in trouble. That wasn't the half of it. Police were summoned and discovered 2 bodies in the nearby woods. A 47-year-old mother of 3 had been strangled. Nearby was the body of a 44-year-old man. Marks in the dirt behind the woman's body indicated she had been dragged from the pickup truck. The man was determined to have died from a heart attack. Authorities pieced together the scene. Daniel Robbins murdered his girlfriend, Jessica Folds, then attempted to dispose of the body in a remote location. They'll never find her here. Unfortunately, Robbins' heart was not up to the physical exertion. It gave up midway to the planned shallow grave he had probably seen so prominently employed on murder TV. You know, it has always given me pause when the bad guy kills somebody in the upstairs bathtub, then carries the body out to the car, dumps it in the trunk, then later pulls it out and carries it into the woods. I can barely hoist up the 50-pound bag of dog food when Amazon delivers it to my front porch. As for the tawdry plot surrounding this unfortunate and tragic story, here's a simple 3-part takeaway for the teenagers in your life. Get a job, get married, have kids, in that order. And a 4th is like it. When you have done all those, stay married. The apostle said it is hard to kick against the goads. Life gets a lot easier when we figure out what that means. And thanks for joining the Alligator News Roundup for Friday, July 3, 2026. My earlier reference to Fort McHenry prompted me to reflect on the lyrics to the Star-Spangled Banner. There are other verses than the first, little known to most of us. For your American Independence Day contemplation, here is the last verse. Oh, thus be it ever, when free men shall stand between their loved home and the war's desolation. Blessed with victory and peace, may the heaven-rescued land praise the power that hath made and preserved us a nation. Then conquer we must, when our cause it is just. And this be our motto, in God is our trust. And the Star-Spangled Banner in triumph shall wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. Have a good weekend.
Enjoy your celebration this weekend. Join us again next week for all the news that will make you the envy of your neighborhood, and try not to trigger your delicate neighbors.